Do you sometimes feel like no matter how long your to-do list is getting, it's definitely not getting any shorter? As entrepreneurs and business owners, it can feel like there is not enough time in the day to get anything done despite our best efforts. In this video, I'm going to share my biggest productivity hacks and strategies for getting more done in a day. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Haley Dale and I am a content strategist helping you create more purposeful, productive, and yes, profitable content as well. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below this video to get new videos like this every single Monday. Okay, so I have a bit of a paradox here for you. One of my hard lessons around productivity has been the fact that it isn't always about having more time. Sometimes when you have less time, you actually get more done. When I was first starting my business for the first couple of years, I was in side hustle mode, meaning that I was building my business on all of my lunch breaks and after work, on the weekends, any time that I could find to squeeze a little bit of work done. And what was funny is I got a ton done there because I was forced to prioritize my time and I was forced to be really productive. Then when I went full time for the first few months, it was a huge adjustment because even though I had now all the time in the world compared to before, I was actually getting less done. I was less focused. It was like because I had so much time, I did less with it. I almost had too much time and it backfired on me. And so it was, how do I bring that side hustling level of focus into this full-time business lifestyle? So as I have learned, sometimes less is more, right? And really it comes down to how we are able to prioritize. A huge mantra of mine has become start less and finish more. When I first went full time, I felt like a kid in a candy store with all of the things that I could do in my business. I could launch something, I could create something new, I could do all the things. When that is so far from true, even when you're a full-time business owner, you still have to prioritize. So start less so that you can finish more. Okay, so productivity secret number one, focus on your big picture. All of this action starts with knowing what to focus on, and that can be one of the toughest parts of making more with your time. I like to make sure that I have a vision that I'm working towards, not just a business vision, but something a little more concrete. And I like to work in 90-day sprints, which I know a lot of other business owners like to work within as well. So one of the things that I will do is have a quarterly solo business retreat where I get out of my workspace and I book into an Airbnb, or if I'm traveling anyways, I book an extra day so that I can just have some planning time, some distance from my everyday, and I can create a clear, prioritized action plan for that quarter so that I know what I should be focusing my time on. Because oftentimes when we're not making the most out of our time, or you find yourself in that I'm doing all the things bubble, it can be a matter of not prioritizing. And so that comes back to having a strong strategy in place. And so my first tip is to make sure is to maybe work in some kind of quarterly strategic planning process, and hopefully you can do that away from home. One of the ways that I would do this before I had money to like book a staycation or book an Airbnb is even just like booking a room at the library. There's just something about getting out of your space and somewhere else that makes you prioritize and focus a bit better. Productivity strategy hack number two, learn how to park distractions. So I don't know about you, but I often have these bright ideas come up and it's so tempting. I get FOMO and I'm like, I want to put what I'm working on hold and work on this because this is so good. This is the next big thing. But that can be really distracting, right? If we were constantly like chasing those whims and chasing those ideas that came to us, we'd get nothing done. And so putting a system for parking distractions, I call it my parking lot, has been imperative to getting focus and getting actual focused work done. So anytime a bright idea comes up, I can like write this down or tell Alexa to put it on my parking lot list so that I can come back to it later and address it when there's time, maybe on my next quarterly business planning retreat. But I think that that even comes up with like if a link comes across or an interesting article you come across, and you're like, I should be working on my blog right now, you can go and save that bookmark for later and go back and read it. So you don't feel like I have to do it now or never. It removes some of that FOMO-ness and allows you to get back to what you were doing, but still make sure that you are saving that idea or saving that piece of inspiration somewhere so that you can go back through it at some point. So productivity secret number 3 is to monotask. I love the feeling of multitasking. I feel like a total boss when I'm juggling things around. I'm like dealing with this like a boss. I'm like putting this down and just like dealing with all the things and bouncing around, and it feels really productive. But all of that bouncing around has a cost, and that means that I'm actually getting less done. So when I multitask, and I fall into this often, this is probably the biggest issue I have with productivity, is loving to multitask. So I need to force myself to focus on one thing at a time, work one thing all the way through. Because when I'm in that multitasking mode, what I will do is I will move 10 things 1% forward. And then I'll get to the end of the day and be like, I got nothing done, right? I worked on everything, but nothing got done. Versus when I take the monotasking method, I end the day with, I got 2 things completely done. And that feels a lot better than 1% on all the things. So productivity strategy number 4 is make productivity themes. So one of the best tools that I have in my business are my theme days. So this means that if it's Monday and a client thing comes up, I don't need to drop everything and work on it right away. I know Thursdays are my client days and it can wait till then, usually, right? Or I can get a team member working on it. So for me, my theme days, just for a little bit of inspiration here, Monday is all about my quarterly projects. So I choose one creation project to pour all of my creative energy in each quarter. And Mondays, I get a full day of work on it. So by the time Tuesday rolls around, I feel like awesome, because I'm like, I got so much done yesterday. And then Tuesdays are content and marketing days. These are when I am working on my videos or my quarterly content batch or social media. So things to do with marketing. Wednesdays are meeting days. So as an introvert, this is a very exhausting day for me, and I go to bed so early after them, but I cram all of my meetings into one day. It is worth it for me because it creates freedom in the rest of my days without feeling like I'm being interrupted. So I'm able to get more work done. Thursdays are all about client and agency days. I take care of my people on Thursdays. This is my clients. These are my mastermind students, the day that I help and give them feedback, as well as I check in with my team on Thursdays and prepare assignments for them for the next week. And then Fridays are my CEO days. This is when I'm measuring. This is when I'm making strategic decisions. This is when I'm dealing with money stuff. So this is my day. This is the day I learn, right? So if I have any courses that I'm going through, it will be on Fridays. So by doing this, I make sure that I am, it goes back to that monotasking productivity secret just before. I'm able to work on one task all the way through, one type of task, instead of bouncing around. So productivity secret strategy hack number 5 is to learn the right way to make a to-do list. This was life-changing for me. So if I had to explain what I used to do, my husband would laugh, is I would create these super ambitious to-do list plans. Like it wouldn't even fit on this piece of paper. Like I would need 3 of these to do it. And yeah, there's only 12 spots in that. That's nowhere near enough for the way I used to do to-do lists. But I would end the day so discouraged and feeling like I got nothing done when it was literally impossible for me to get my to-do list done before. Like when I would add up the time needed to do everything, it would be like 18 hours of work in an 8-hour workday or however long I was working. Impossible. So what I found is adding time estimates to your to-do list is a great way to keep yourself in check. I know that I'm working on one type of task, and I will make a list of all the things that need to get done that day, and then I will take the extra step of adding a time estimate for each of those tasks. then from that information, I can prioritize and build my workday based on the time constraints that I have available. So this has been a life-changing method of like freeing me up from guilt of not feeling like I'm a failure at to-do list, to really like mastering my day. And even if my estimates are far off, like I get better and better at estimating things, even if I just feel like I'm guessing at first, because I reflect on how long did that actually take when I'm done with it. So productivity strategy hack number 6 that I use is making productivity measurable. I love this quote from Peter Drucker: what gets measured gets managed. And one of my favorite ways to work is through these 25-minute sprints called Pomodoros, where I go all in on focusing on one thing. And one of the tools that I use is actually called Be Focused Pro. It looks a little bit something like this. It integrates with your computer, with your iPad, all of the different things. And you can basically choose what you're working on, and then you set a 25-minute timer and just do play. Now, what I love about this is, let me see here, it can give you these little reports based on and tell you what you spent your time on, which I find really cool. You can look at it day, month, custom, the year, which is insane. You can get these little pie charts of what you spent your time on. So this allows you to geek out over productivity, but for me, it also allows me to measure it. And I like having that, like if I did not get something done, I can usually go into my app and see why I didn't get it done, because I didn't dedicate enough time to getting it done. Productivity strategy number 7 is learning how to deal with distractions. So as a business owner, I often find myself overwhelmed by all the things I have to do, right? There is a ton we have to do as business owners. So I find myself in this situation often. So one of the tools that I like to use when I get into this state of like, I have all the things to do, I don't have time enough to do them, is I do a brain dump. And I basically just take 10, 15 minutes and get everything out from my head and onto a piece of paper, so that I can then take that list and organize it using a tool called the Eisenhower matrix. I'm going to put a link to how to use it below. But essentially what I'll do is there are 4 quadrants, and I basically color code it. I have one color for important and urgent tasks, and I'll go through and highlight any of the things that from my brain dump that are important and urgent. Then I have my important, not urgent tasks. I'll have another color and I'll go through and highlight those things. Then I'll have another quadrant, which is like not important but urgent, and I'll go through and highlight those things. And the rest of the things are not important and not urgent, and usually means I don't need to do them right away. So this will help me prioritize, like, what are my important urgent tasks? Do those first. What are my urgent not important tasks? Sometimes I'll do some of those, and then I'll spend the bulk of my time on the important not urgent tasks. So here are a few tools and resources that can help with your productivity. So I would love to know what tip that I shared, or what tip do you have for me? How do you get more done, and how are you mastering your time as an entrepreneur? So let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions about productivity and systems, I could geek out over this stuff all day. So let me know in the comments. And if you want more videos like this, make sure to hit the like button, and then also hit subscribe down below this video, because I'm dropping a video every single Monday.